Hey, and welcome back. It's Kingsport 1876. It's been a long, long time for Monsterhearts. It's been like 3 months since we did the ship thing. I'm Karam, and I'll be your mistress of ceremonies tonight. I have a wonderful cast of returning Kingsporters, which is great because this is, in fact, the 1 year anniversary of this series. I can't believe we got this far, but we did. So luckily, I'm going to break a little bit with tradition because I think to lead off tonight, I'd like to introduce someone from the very first Kingsport game, someone I always enjoy having at our table, Jesse.
Hi, I'm Jesse, he, him. Interesting characters now, too? Yeah. And I am playing Johnny Smith the Selkie.
Tell us a little bit about Johnny.
Johnny came ashore to see what life on dry. Beyond that, we're going to maybe find out a little bit more about his background in play. But right now, he's sleeping on the beach. He doesn't really have a permanent place to hang his hat. But he's become a little bit of a fixture in town, and it's just excited to get to know people and see what this whole life on dry land thing is all about.
I see. So you left your reggae singing fish behind and have come on.
It's not. They sing like traditional folk music of probably, I don't know where. I guess it's reggae.
Vaguely Celtic. It's always vaguely Celtic.
Vaguely Celtic, maybe with a little bit of a reggae beat.
So next, my partner in crime and co-collaborator on this whole thing, Serafina. Tell us about Adam Fairchild, our ghoul.
Hi, I'm Serafina, she, her. I'm playing Adam, he, him, represented here by Tom Hiddleston, which I'm going to be having a feeling about for 4 weeks. He is our ghoul. He is from the Fairchild family, renowned for their just overall shining goodness. And I have decided that he was sent. I do not know what purpose he was sent for, but I think he has been dead for a while. I think he probably died in the war, the Great War, the war between the states. And now he is back for the centennial. I don't know exactly how long he's been awake at this point. And I also don't know if anybody in town has noticed that he's just walking around again. So I'm kind of curious to find out more about him because I don't know what he's like yet.
Well, we shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed. Cool. Oh, interesting fun fact, because you're playing with History Cat. The most common name for the Civil War in this period would have been the War of the Rebellion, at least in the North.
The War of the Rebellion. Good to know.
Hmm? Why don't we go next to Joe, who is not only returning to Kingsport, but is returning a character to Kingsport.
I am Joe, they, them. I'm playing Selina Vale, she, her. And last we saw her, she was, leaving 1943 Kingsport to go into the fairy realm. Now she's in 1876. So fairy magic's really weird and confusing.
Well, this will be fine. I mean, there's not that much difference. Just internal combustion engines, instantaneous communication.
The war of the rebellion. I'm like, we were just fighting. We were in the middle of the second biggest war.
Refrigeration, antibiotics.
What are these clothes?
Corsets.
Poor Selina.
Poor Selina. And finally, an interesting turn of events as we are having Steve come aboard, and Steve has only played an offline game of Kingsport, so this is fantastic. We have both newbie and returning player all wrapped up in one package. Tell us about Atalanta Winters, your werewolf.
Yes, I'm Stephen, he, him. Atalanta Winters is she, her, a werewolf. She is part of the upper class. Her father Colonel Harrison Winters fought in the War of the Rebellion, and he lost an arm there. And ever since then, he's lost some of his dominance locally. The family has fallen on hard times, but they have hopes for regaining their fortune.
Well, yeah, the limited possibilities of the coming American century. Everything's going to just be fine. Just remember,
You say that.
everything you do today will inevitably lead in 100 years to bell bottoms and mustard yellow. So I guess the thing we have to do next is backstory questions, right? We have no mortals, so we can do this in any order we feel like. So I guess if somebody's got a question that they want to use, let's hop to that and get some strings going here.
My drive slowed down.
All right, well, I'll jump in. First of all, my character as a werewolf lacks subtlety, so I give a string to everybody. And I have spent weeks watching someone from a distance. I'll say that's our Selkie, Johnny Smith, and I gained 2 strings on him. And their scent and mannerisms are now unmistakable to me.
This will work out so well. Why don't we jump over to Johnny then?
Okay, I'm just going to come out and ask, who wants my pelt?
I do.
Great, it's yours.
Sweet.
You'll make good use of that. So, just to clarify for the audience, someone, namely Adam, stole my pelt. Sorry, things are. And they figured out how important it is to me. They said they'll give it back if I do something for them. Each gain a string on one another.
Sweet. I do like the way that fear tastes, so this is going to work out super
Yeah,
well.
I mean, what do you want me to do?
I'm going to find out.
Got it.
This will be fine.
And then I watched someone swimming. I think that is going to be Selina. Because I guess I'm a little creepy like that.
Well, I mean, there's a couple things going on here with that, right? I mean, Selina is a fae, and you're otherworldly, which means I have to ask the all-important Kingsport question. Since you come from beneath the waves, what's your connection to the deep ones?
So I don't think I'm a deep one, actually. I think, Johnny is not in any, I don't know, I feel like the deep ones are rooted here, right? And Johnny is not. Johnny is transient. Johnny is someone who is doesn't have connections really yet. I think that's whatever. That's a lot of what's going on with the Selkie playbook in general, anyway.
Yep.
So I don't know. I was playing. I have a little note here. I've been playing with the idea that there's some kind of a Hyperborean or Atlantean kind of thing going on with the Selkies. But we can just sort of see what ends up happening.
Yeah,
Also,
no,
I'm not
so we'll lean more into the kind of fae and mystic.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the ocean. There may be a Dagon connection of some kind, but it's not the deep ones.
That's totally fine.
How many strings do I get on you for your pelt? 2?
Just 1.
1.
We each have a string on each other.
Great.
Well, it sounds like we should go to Adam then.
Adam. Okay, so someone reminded you what love was when you thought that death had stolen it away from you forever. Give them a string. I think that is... Let me look at people again.
I mean, Selina would be deliciously ironic.
I mean, I was gonna say that. Pretty sure she's very gay, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna give Selina a string on me. What if Joe and I are just in love all the time?
I mean, this could just be it's like time after time. It could just be a cosmic
It's
thing. you know?
cosmic. It's real. Yeah. It's real, Joe. And then
Dating your great-great-great-granddaughter?
it's going to get very Back to the Future if we think about it too much.
That's a one string?
Yep.
I taught you what love is.
Yep, you did. Did anyone watch you die? If so, you gain 2 strings on each other. I think everybody here is probably too young to have watched me die.
Yeah, we could. Well, wait a minute.
Can we?
It says, wait a minute. It says someone knows that you're dead and how you died. Right?
No, that's It says, "Did anyone watch you die?"
I'm sorry, you're right. I was looking at
The ending is when I share details about my death.
Yep.
To turn people on with cold.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me look here.
It was
I mean, we could alter it.
ago.
What's that?
The Civil War ended 11 years ago, and you died during the war.
Yeah.
Even like a long time, you were thinking. So.
Yeah, I've been dead.
We could give you the ghost question instead, which is almost the same thing. It's just someone knows you're dead and how you died.
Oh, yeah, then let's do that.
It seems to me the one that makes the most sense would be Atalanta Winters then.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
Because her dad was your CEO, wrote the letter.
I'm actually really that sounds awesome.
So that's 2 strings.
That's Atalanta, you get 2 strings on me, and I actually now have 3 strings on you.
Fantastic. This will turn out so well.
It's gonna go great.
Interesting. So I guess Johnny, do you have any parents? You're not living with anybody, huh? You're just sort of living on the.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I don't think I have any parents here. I think we can, like, as we build our NPCs, like, I may have some kind of a relationship.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe you've been adopted by some, I don't know, lovable rogues, tramps, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, if there's that kind of sort of like homeless community in Kingsport, I think I've definitely become a part of that, and, like, possibly, I don't know. Look, to me, it makes a little bit of sense that, like, possibly, and this may be some of how Adam got my pelt. Like, the Fairchilds have not fully taken me in because I won't let them, but, like, I'm sort of like a project for them.
That sounds great. Yeah, and I think I definitely, like, returned to my family home when I came back from the dead. Like,
nice, cool.
There.
Are you the child of Colonel Lancelot Fairchild, or are you a different relation?
I think I could be Lancelot's kid. Yeah.
So my question is, I still have never decided: did Lancelot survive the Civil War, or did he die in some tragically honorable way?
I think he died in a tragically honorable way.
Yeah, I've always figured he died in some tragically honorable way.
He's a Fairchild. So yeah, I think, maybe when I come back to the house, the people that are there are, I don't know, are they distant relations or are they, like, my siblings?
Do you have an Uncle Ben?
Are you turning me into, like, a weird 19th century Spider-Man?
No, the horror.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm just saying, with great power comes great responsibility is the sort of thing a Fairchild would say.
Okay, fine. Uncle Ben.
I'm just an enabler now, Serafina.
I mean, listen, we enable each other.
Yeah, this is fair.
That's
what friends do, right? Wait,
What's that?
no, that's not what friends do. It's the opposite.
That's exactly what friends do. At least the friends that I like. Cool, great. No, I'm into that. And then, of course, it's like you were sent for a reason.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason why you're back. You must find out why.
Let's see if there's any.
Fucking Fairchild.
Hey, man, you invented them, so.
I did. I invented them, and I'm in love with them.
I know. Cool. All right. So, let's talk safety.
Well, I got to do mustering.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Joe. I thought
No
I got
problem.
everything.
Well, well, the first one, I think that like I was contemplating asking if I could switch some of them up because I only want to switch one of them up. The first one we're going to keep. You wear your heart in your sleeve. Give everyone one string.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
I was wondering if I could switch the other one up with something from the Hollow because both of the Hollow questions make perfect sense for Selina in this given situation.
Oh yeah.
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 100%.
Yeah. So
I mean, if look, well, I mean, so I'm almost of the mind of letting you do both. It just means that the Fae will start out with a ton of strings on people, which could be really horrifically bad. But on the other hand, it could be fun. It could be a lot of fun.
Because I mean, I'm okay with it, but like I'd only get 2 strings on one person. The other one is somebody gets 2 strings on me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we do that then?
Okay,
Might
cool.
ask both of them.
Thank you. So yeah, I've been taking my social cues from someone, and doing so has taught me a lot about them. Gained 2 strings on them. I'm gonna do that to Johnny. No, not yeah, Johnny. Because I feel like we're both like transients.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. Atalanta makes more sense because it's the 1800s, and I'm like, I cannot be tomboyish here.
Atalanta, teach her how to be a proper girl.
Oh no, that's not going to happen.
I know. Selena's trying to fit in. She picked the wrong bitch.
Yeah. And then someone's seen through my invented past and realized it's all lies. They gain 2 strings on me. And that'll be... Oof. Everyone's a good choice.
I'll take it if you don't know who to give it to.
I know. It's between you and Johnny. I don't know who.
I'll take it if you don't know who to give it to.
Yeah, I have 2 on you
Sure,
already,
sure.
so like that's the 4 is a lot of
Okay.
strings.
I'll take 3. Thanks.
But it makes sense because you're watching me, you know?
That's fair.
I'm just really into you, and now I can control you, so that's great.
Yeah, and it wasn't on purpose. Like I live on the beach.
Wasn't it, though?
Wasn't it though? Just sort of aimlessly watching women bathe naked.
All right, so yeah, we have
Who's ever there?
We have a couple interesting features here. So yes, we have Johnny. You don't have your skin, which means you can't transform or without it, but that's okay. I'm sure Adam is totally gonna be cool about that. And Adam, you're a Fairchild who now hungers for fear. That's an interesting combination. Wow, you must be just racked with guilt and hungry for fear constantly.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to go so well.
Okay, so let's talk safety. So first thing, let me get our old friend. We'll get to do this. Oh wow, I should be watching this. There you go. There's our friend Dooley Wise Kitten. Cool. So we like to use the X card here. I'm sure everybody knows how to use it, which is why I'm going to tell you anyway. If there's content that we don't want to have in the game at the moment, for whatever reason, whether it's just too jokey or I am severely traumatized, it doesn't matter. You just exit by, you can hit the button on this very nice dice roller. You can say X card, you can cross your thing, you can furiously type in the chat window to get my attention. All these things are fine. Then we will stop and we will figure a way to route around that content and get rid of it in the game. We also like to use lines and veils. Lines are things we don't have in the game, period. And veils are things that we have in the game, but we're not going to give any on-screen time. I have 2 lines right up on the top on the sheet that are basically just standard at this point. They are sexual assault and romantic coercion. I'm okay with leaving those 2 lines in the game. If anybody else has anything, I'm going to just clear out. I'm going to leave sex in for the veils because we're on the internet. So, but if there's anything else anybody wants to put in, we can do this now, and we can always revisit lines and veils.
Violence against domestic animals is a good one. I'm going to veil
more
off.
of a line than a veil.
I mean, yeah. If you want it to be a line, Joe, let's make it a line.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Cool. Gotcha. What was I going to say? I would like to veil off torture. Like, it can happen, but I don't need to see all of it.
That is totally fair. Let me just think. So depending on how much it comes in, I don't know how much it'll come in, but we are talking about post-Civil War America, so PTSD and drug abuse are both things that could come in. I don't know if anybody wants to do anything about that, but just thought I'd mention it here now as a content warning. I don't know how much we're going to get into it, but
yeah,
it is out there. It's a palette. It's in the paint box.
I'm going to throw in a line from an old game, which is culturally appropriate, but entirely inappropriate now racism.
Yeah, historically appropriate racism.
Yeah, that's what it is. Historically appropriate racism. The way that they put it was great. It doesn't matter that it's historically appropriate; it's still uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is fine by me.
Cool.
All right then. All right, let's get into this then. So cool. The Kingsport Centennial Club. So that's the committee tab on the spreadsheet. And as you can see, the committee, the Centennial Club has a number of committees. The committees are fireworks, baking, dinner, veterans, public addresses, and decorations.
You're so cute that I can't.
Now, I don't have anything too much in mind for any of these. I think we can explore them. Some of them are somewhat obvious. I mean, obviously, the baking committee will probably make the desserts and the pies and the breads for the big 4th of July feast and anything else that gets cooked. The dinner would probably be just the 4th of July dinner, which that could involve all kinds of things from formal dinner planning, if they're going to have it like at say the Winter's Mansion, or we need to roast 10 suckling pigs. The Veterans Committee, I think the town should do something for its noble veterans. So what that'll entail, I don't know. It could be anything from making sure that they are taken care of during the 4th to celebrating, reenacting the battles that they fought in on the Common. I don't know. Public address. It's expected that some of the youth of the new American century will give an address during the celebrations. Fireworks is pretty obvious. Just get them and use them. And decorations is the decoration of the town. So if somebody wants to jump up and volunteer for one of these, and we'll start throwing some NPCs around.
Woof.
Yeah. Johnny's on the decorations committee.
Yeah. I love it. What am I on?
That seems appropriate.
I feel like fireworks and veterans are both bad ideas for him. Like, they don't understand PTSD, but explosions probably not the best.
Selina's like, what do you just get a charcoal grill and then start cooking things up.
Oh my god.
So not the dinner committee.
I think I'm going to be on the public address committee.
Oh, good. Yeah, veterans might be a little dangerous for you.
Yeah, I don't think veterans is a good idea.
Yeah, so you'll just
I
get
can't
up
wait
in front
for
of
our-
everyone.
Yeah, our dead boy will stand up and address the community.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just don't know where he can go where he won't be noticed.
All right.
He's not joking.
Let's see. Johnny, you're on decorations committee, huh? So tell
What's
me about
Atlanta do? Because that's going to determine what Selena should be doing.
Oh, okay then.
Okay, I think Atalanta is probably on the dinner committee,
Okay.
All right.
handling invitations and such.
Selena is as well, and she's very confused about how dinners work back in. It's like, makes no sense.
No.
You get some beef, you get some dogs.
Yeah, it's gonna go great.
I'm literally reading the history of 4th of July cookouts right now.
All
And it's
right.
pre-World War II is when the backyard barbecues became a thing. So,
Makes sense.
charcoal grill were new then.
So, Johnny, there is someone with you on the decorations committee who, let me get this question up, who talks to you about something they don't talk about with anybody else. Who is this person? What do they talk about?
Her name is Rebecca Pembleton, and she talks to me about the sea. I don't think she quite has told me the secret of her community, but she talks of the sea in a way that you would not expect a good Congregationalist girl to speak of the sea.
why don't you take a string on her?
You got it.
Cool. Okay, Adam.
Mm.
Somebody on your committee refuses to be shamed by a story told about them. Who are they, and what was that story?
Their name. Their name is Timothy Brown. Just not one of the big families. And I think they have always had a speech impediment. They've always just had a really hard time sort of speaking. And I think that somebody brought up the fact that they shouldn't be in charge of anything to do with like the public addresses or like speaking in public. And so they intentionally signed up. Because screw you guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that when they decided to do that thing, Adam like made space like at the table that he was sitting at for them to sit with him. Because Fairchild.
So, Atalanta, why do you hate Rebecca Pembleton so much?
Because Rebecca is friendly with Caesar Rocliffe, who is from a rival werewolf family. And I mean, they're actually going together, if you can believe it.
They're courting?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Inappropriate.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Who haven't I talked to you? Yes. Selina, why are you sort of into Caesar Rocliffe, who I'm going to put on... fire. Oh, obviously there's only one place for him to go. There you go. Now we know the dinner committee.
All right.
Yep, we know who's on that.
Why am I sort of into Caesar Rowcliffe? He's got, you know, the I don't give a fuck type attitude. He's like a bit of a wild child, which I'm like, all right, you know.
So different from the
Respect.
last partner.
Yeah, well, she abandoned me in the fairy realm, apparently, I guess. I don't
will
know.
defend her.
I don't know what things got crazy.
Hmm.
She ran off or galloped off.
Oh God.
Um,
Okay.
I miss her too.
I know. I love her.
Atalanta. Normally you would be on the baking committee. Who took your place?
Mm.
My mother, Matilda,
Oh,
she actually likes baking.
and you don't?
No, I mean, if there was an archery committee, sure, I'd be on that. But no, I am not going to bake.
Can you bake?
I mean, I can follow instructions. I have never learned. My mother has tried to make me learn.
Cool. Why don't you take a string on her and I'm giving her 2 strings on you just because mother-daughter relationships are fun. Yeah, so Johnny, why is Matilda known to sometimes give you something to eat? Like marvelously baked meat pie or a nice fish stew.
I think I do odd jobs for around the property, not in the house, never in the house,
Of course not.
but odd jobs around the property. And so in return, I'll get a hot meal and sometimes something a little bit more portable.
Okay. Adam.
Oh,
Who
and never with a shirt on.
Of course not.
Never with a shirt.
Oh, sure. Adam, who are you avoiding on the Veterans Committee?
Oh, sweet God. Who am I not avoiding on the Veterans Committee? Archibald Lowe. He was a scoundrel when I knew him before, and I am certain nothing has changed.
So he's a little older?
Yeah, he's a little older.
Okay. So he was probably like a 12-year-old hellion when you marched south, and
I hated him then.
now he's a 23-year-old jerk.
Yeah, now he's a 23-year-old jerk.
Cool.
And I've been dead, so that says something.
That's awesome. I'm totally giving him 2 strings on you, just so you know.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. That's fine.
I mean, you do look just like your cousin, the one that got killed tragically.
And I am named after him, so you know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, Adam, it's a very common Fairchild name. Okay. So we got Rebecca, we got Johnny, we got yep. Selina. Why aren't you on the baking committee?
Theodora Waite's on there, and she's very creepy because she reminds me of the Waite that I knew of, because that whole family's weird.
Your whole family is weird.
The Imsmith people are weird.
The Innsmouth people are weird.
It was either going to be a Waite or a Vreeland.
So, Johnny, do you get along with Theodora?
We get along pretty okay. I think I'm like both. think she's a person that I look to see sort of like, okay, how are people?
People.
Like, well, what do people do?
In what way are persons?
Yeah.
Two PCs that are looking to others to figure out what to do.
This is gonna go great.
Yeah, I was when you originally had me as the person with those strings, I was like, eh. You'll get to copy the person who's copying the people. Are you giving her strings on me? Because she probably deserves them.
It sure sounds like it, doesn't it?
Sure does sound like those are strings.
Yeah.
But, are you sure we don't have two hollows?
I was looking at the playbook. I'm like, I guess I could have just played Selina as a hollow.
Yeah.
If you want to make that decision later, we can talk about
I'll
that.
just take moves from it.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Especially Fate.
This
Okay.
is mine.
So it looks like the dinner committee doesn't have anybody older on it. That's interesting. So Atalanta, were you responsible for getting Selina on the committee when she begged you to put her on it?
Yes, I think I was, and the reason is that I thought I could influence her and we could outvote Caesar on anything that was important.
Nice. So I think Adam, there is an older woman, like 20 something, on the public address committee. She's quite outspoken because she fully intends to give a speech, which is slightly scandalous.
Oh, okay.
Tell me about her.
Tell you about her. Okay. Her name is antithetically Chastity. What's a good last name? Chastity something. I'll think of something in a second. And I think that if it were 1970, she would definitely be like the person like protesting and marching and like doing all the stuff. But as it is, she's a young woman recently married and doesn't have any outlet for her activist feelings.
She could be a first wave feminist.
She could be a first wave, like an 0.5 wave.
Proto wave.
Yeah. But this is like before votes for women.
No, it wasn't.
No.
This is full on during Susan B. Anthony.
Oh, that was happening.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't know what year it is. But yeah, so she could be like the first wave. And so I think that she very much intends to like do the authoritarian takedown.
I'm gonna then name her after Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell. So Chastity
Nice.
Blackwell.
Into it.
Though that is her married name, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I don't think Adam has much of a problem with any of that.
Nope. I'm just gonna give her some strings on you.
That makes sense.
Cool. So Selina, when Chastity hit on you, what did you do?
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I blushed, but I'm like, I didn't like. I was very awkward. But I'm still dealing with the loss of my previous girlfriend, so I did not like give in immediately, but I did not dissuade her.
Gonna be fine.
Cool.
Because I like, yeah, that girl, she knows what's up.
She's great.
I mean, yeah,
Right.
women do need better shit, even where I'm from.
So cool. I'm gonna put Harold Blackwell on the fireworks committee. That's
Great.
my husband. So Johnny, when Harold and Chastity invited you to stay over for the night after you've done some work for them. What did you say?
You're
Wrong
muted.
button. Yes. Yes. That seems like a very kind offer, and it was probably raining. It was
Okay.
probably raining, and refusing would have been strange, despite the fact that I love the feel of the rain on my body. And so, yeah.
Did anything happen?
They were acting strange. I didn't quite understand what it was. They were hinting at, like, they were wearing much less clothes than they would have outside, but I didn't take that too. I mean, I never wear a shirt. Like, who wears clothes all the time? So, I think maybe at this point, that was very shortly after I showed up. I think looking back on it, I kind of get it. It was like, oh, they should invite me over again, maybe, but it hasn't happened.
Cool. So I'm gonna make Chastity 21 and Harold 22, so that this feels slightly less creepy than the place I'm digging myself into. I'm gonna also assume that most of you guys are almost 18 anyway, so
Yeah.
You wouldn't be going back to school anyway, and some of you probably have been out of school for a while. And I don't know, Selina. I mean,
I wasn't born yet.
Atalanta, do you go to boarding school?
No, we had tutors at home for a while, but not the last few years when money has been running short.
You had a governess.
Well, yes. Although I was somewhat ungovernable.
All right. So your father, Harrison Winters, is on the steering committee of the club. How do you get along with him?
We're on very good terms, and I think I am basically the heir by default, and I have a strong enough personality to make up for not being a son. So it's like he has been preparing me to help with the family businesses.
Has he been looking for a fine match for you?
Yeah, it's pretty much got to be Cousin Henry.
Cousin Henry.
Tell me about Cousin Henry. Is his last name Winters, or is it something else?
Yes. It's I mean, that's one of the considerations, is that I could remain a Winters, and he's got excellent manners. He's kind of a weak thing, at least in comparison. But
do you like him at all?
Oh yes. He's quite nice.
Take a string on him. That was neat. Oh, let's put poor Henry Winters in here somewhere. I'll put him on the decorations committee. Okay. So Selina, Atalanta's father, Colonel Harrison Winters, is on the steering committee. How do you get along with him?
On the the main hopefully fine. He is very much like.
Sorry.
So I feel like he could be a father-in-law to me.
I'm sure he's got a military mindset, but I don't know what the Civil War military mindset was like compared to what I'm used to. So, maybe he's happy his daughter has friends. I don't know.
Cool. So, hey, Johnny. The Reverend Perdition Wilkins is on the steering committee of the Centennial Club. How do you get along with him?
He disapproves of me. Like I think pretty strongly. He's if I remember correctly, he's a pretty at least in his older age, he was a pretty rigid like social hierarchy. Like everyone needs to sort of like follow their role kind of guy. And my role, the role of someone like me, is not to be like part of town society and be in the Centennial Club and like interact with his parishioners like Rebecca Pembleton and Theodora Waite.
Oh, those poor Reverend Wilkins. Okie dokie. All right. I think we. So, Adam, I know you're avoiding Colonel Winters, right?
Yup.
So, on the committee is a older woman named Phoebe Greenwood.
Fucking Greenwoods.
She's a little distracted, as people say, but she means well.
I'm sure she does.
Yeah, and she helped run a field hospital during the Civil War, so people respect her now.
Oh.
They don't talk about the events of 1851. Nobody talks about 1851. Has she seen through you?
I think she has, but people don't think that she has. Like, because she's so kind of distracted and people don't take her seriously, she has like tapped Perdition on the shoulder and been like, that man, I taught him in a field. I tended to him in a field hospital. He died. And he's like, okay, sweetie, like whatever you say, dear. Like, it's very, and I think there has probably been a moment where like she said something to him in a hallway, or he got there early and was sitting and she said something about like thinking that he was dead. And he like very tenderly, took her hands in his and said, you took very good care of me. Yeah, I know.
That melts my heart. Okay, so
I'm here for.
I think we've got everything we need to for this. Or we'll figure some stuff out. Why don't we take our break now, and then we'll come back and like 5-ish and do some stuff.
Great.
All right.
Sounds good.
So let's carry ourselves back to the year 1876 in this little witch-haunted, fish-smelling, busy, industrious town. This is the golden age of Kingsport. The shipyards are still running full tilt. The merchant fleet and fishing fleets dominate the waves. It's good times to be in Kingsport. The rot has not set in yet. It will, and very quickly, but not yet. So what I'm thinking is, it is a nice, bright Saturday morning, and Harold Blackwell has invited some folks to come out with him to test the fireworks in a field outside of town.
Great.
Anybody want to volunteer to be part of that?
Totally.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You too, Johnny?
Yeah, my hand is raised. I don't know if you could see.
Yeah, I see it. Adam, are you want to sit at this, or?
I feel like the explosions might be bad, but I can go.
Okay.
I might not know how bad it's going to be.
Sure. All right.
Dead, not death. Not gonna go well.
It's gonna go fine. Don't worry. Everything is fine.
Cool.
So Harold meets you guys out there. He's got like a suspiciously large amount of homemade rockets. A couple of, there's it's very safe. He's got like he's got an open barrel of black powder.
This is great.
He's wearing
just like
he's wearing a duster and glasses. He offers all of you safety glasses. Here, put these goggles on.
I think Adam rolls up on all of this and says,
yeah.
yeah, I believe the last time I saw this many explosives in one place, we were marching bravely off to war.
Well, I mean, I remember those days too. I was just a lad, of course, but no. I assure you, I followed the instructions extremely closely.
Is it smart to keep the powder out in the open like that?
That's a good question. What do you think?
Well, what could possibly go wrong?
If it rains, it could get ruined.
Oh, that's true. I would say the weather is fine, but then again, we live in Kingsport. You know what they say about the weather? Wait 5 minutes or find a witch. I never understood the origin of that expression, come to think of it. But all right, that's a good plan. So he goes and he bangs the lid back on, probably causing immense relief to Adam. Though actually, come to think of it, it sounds like some people were afraid around you, Adam, doesn't it?
It does, in fact, sound as though that was a thing.
Isn't there a thing about you and your hunger?
Let me look.
And you heedlessly pursue.
Oh, okay. You're probably not heedlessly pursuing. I mean, probably.
No.
Not.
Although I did show up here.
Okay. Well, we'll just keep that one in mind then, because that may be important.
I think Adam walks up to who's the guy again?
Harold Blackwell.
Harold walks up to Harold and says, puts his hand on his shoulder and says, "I'm sure nothing will go wrong. We should definitely test them today."
Yes, I agree. He preps a couple, and unbelievably enough, only 2 of them fizzle out. One does blow up right on the ground, but he had it in like a tin can, so well, I'll have to go back to the drawing board on that one.
Who's the most nervous looking person here?
That's an interesting question. Who's the most? I think Johnny is probably too just doesn't people enough to understand how hideously dangerous this is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's actually like I'm getting like real close, and people keep on like sort of like, especially Blackwell. It's like, oh no, Johnny, hand on my chest and sort of like gently leading me away.
I think it's probably Selina, who grew up in an era that is more cognizant of the dangers of homemade pie explosives.
I think when they start setting up the explosives, Selina finds Adam standing like directly behind her, like very, very close to her.
Fucking Fairchilds.
What's that?
Fucking Fairchilds.
Do I don't have to roll anything for
You get a bonus,
right?
If
you add the rolls.
But if you're just trying to feed your hunger.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so you're just Selina, what do you do when Adam starts to loom up behind you?
I mean, obviously, I look back and I'm like, step forward a bit, or to the side. I'm like, hey there, Adam.
Adam as they're setting everything up, sort of leans a little like close to you. He's a tall guy, not a very tall guy, but a tall guy. Leans a little close to you and says, the first time I heard explosions like these, I swore my life was ending. I'm sure we have nothing to be afraid of, but the explosions can be quite alarming for people who aren't used to them.
Well, I'm sure they are, and with as someone as clearly on an expert at building these, I'm sure they're so properly maintained.
He glances over at Harrison or Harold as he's clumsily putting together the thing, and says, "Yes, I am sure that his sensibilities are excellent. But if you need anything, or if you find yourself afraid or nervous, I have some experience with these things."
Oh, and what's that? What's so maybe you should be offering your assistance to Harold. I mean, what can you do for me?
I think I'm going to wind up having to roll to turn you on, which is unfortunate because my hot is shit.
I think so, and I don't think you
he-
told enough about your death to.
No.
No, not yet. No.
I think he sort of smiles the kind of smile that you've only seen on cats that are hunting something, and says, "Let's just say that I have some experience with fear." And I'm gonna just. Oh shit! I rolled an 11.
So that's a 10. That's
10.
astonishing.
You go ahead and you make some choices, girlfriend.
So yeah,
All right,
Either give yourself to me, promise me something you think I want, or get embarrassed and act. Oh,
and you're picking up a string no matter what.
Yes, I am.
She's not going to promise something. She knows how those work. So.
I have 4 now. Gosh.
Well, all right. That's when she takes a hold of your hand.
Mm.
So kind of you to offer. Very
Is this give yourself to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, like all the Fairchilds, you're ever so chivalrous, Adam.
I think when you grab his hand, he puts his other hand on this the small of your back and pulls you close to him.
All right.
And then you're kind of stuck there for this entire demonstration.
So,
so cold, Adam.
Yes, he is.
So, after the first couple fizzles, a few go off and explode in a kind of not so interesting way. But they work. And then one goes up, and it's a tremendous bang, which probably scares everybody. And then the next one apparently has the long distance powder because it just sails straight up and heads for Kingsport Head. And Harold looks like that could be a problem because it didn't blow up. It might accidentally set things on fire.
Oh, Christ. Well,
I'm sure.
don't know what we're
well, as Adam assured us, nothing could go wrong, right, Adam?
I didn't say anything of the sort.
Didn't you?
I think Atalanta starts running in the direction that the rocket was
I'm
going.
glad somebody's doing that.
Johnny, don't let her go alone.
Why not? She's pretty tough.
Well, I mean, you can't just let her run around the woods unaccompanied. I mean, It's not as if
I didn't
nothing
realize I
bad-
can't. Oh, I'll go then. I should do that. And I run after her. Is there anything on the head in 1876?
Well, that's an interesting question. Has anyone, whether on a dare or not knowing better, spent the night sleeping on the or just spent the night on the head?
Like if
Totally.
there's nothing that's been built there, I definitely have. But if there's like, stuff like civilization there, no.
Well, nothing recent.
I mean,
Yeah.
Selina would totally have visited there because, like, what's it like now?
But did you spend
But yeah,
the night?
Hmm,
It seems to be the thing.
I have definitely
I don't
spent
know.
the night there.
were there more comfortable places? If not, then I would have tried it.
Almost any place is more comfortable than Kingsport Head at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I imagine running through the forest is something that Johnny has very little experience with.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
true.
I mean, look, Johnny, it's not like anything bad has ever happened to anybody chasing somebody named Atalanta before. So.
It seems like the thing to do, apparently. It's what they told me.
This is how humans do human, right?
All right.
We keep each other company when we go running off.
Well, Atalanta can definitely outrun you, I
Mhm.
think. But
I mean, I think I call after her. Atalanta, wait. You should
And
have.
I definitely hear him.
You should have company. You shouldn't go alone. It's not safe to go alone. That's what Harold said.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to wait for him.
Oh.
all right.
I assume that she's running off to the head, and I'm going to head in that direction. So that's the.
Was the question answered? Was there anything at the head during the day?
During the day, I mean, there's still those mysterious holes in the ground that we've never yet figured out what belong to. The lighthouse doesn't exist yet.
Okay.
It's just kind of
So, like-
wild and wooded, and
Okay, so like a chance for a fire to break out, and
yeah. Yeah,
What
during
would
the
I have
high summer.
seen
like
at night?
not
though?
many people would be there to run and scream.
Well, did you see the lights?
I mean, I definitely saw the lights.
Okay.
I think they.
Right, and you're like, oh, they do that up here, I guess.
I think the lights to me felt like oddly comforting and familiar. Like I think maybe I actually often go up there at night to watch the lights.
Oh,
I don't know what they are, but they make me feel more at home somehow.
oh, good. Good. Excellent. All right. So, Atalanta, you have to climb the head itself pretty steep before you have any clue as to where this thing is. But you do eventually come down to the place where you think it landed, and you're poking around in the bracken. And I think that Johnny will catch up with you eventually while you're pounding the bracken.
Okay. But it looks like it didn't set anything on fire.
Not yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So I'll look around to find the fallen.
So as Johnny comes up and you get a chance to, and you come through a break in the trees, you're suddenly struck by the fact that in one of the cornfields down below, somehow a strange and intricate pattern has been flattened out into the corn. Circles and swirls, and it does not look like anything that you've seen before.
Huh. I mean, I feel like this is time to gaze into the abyss and see if I can figure out what's going on, what the significance of this is.
Everybody's favorite move. All right.
Uh,
Oh, you are dark, aren't you? You're a dark wolf.
yeah, I am not a dark wolf. That is a 6.
Oh dear. Oh, right. You're -1. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. A 6, you say? Da, 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 da. Cool. You don't have any idea what's going on, but all of a sudden, you turn up, and hovering above you is a bright blue globe of some kind. And as soon as you look up, it just shoots off into the sky as faster than anything you've ever seen, faster than a steam train. Why? It must be going at least 50 miles an hour, an unheard of speed. I think that's when Johnny arrives.
How are you, just Stephen? How is Atalanta reacting to that?
I think she's a little bit rattled, but she's not showing it.
Yeah. Then Johnny is also acting cool. Hey, oh, hi. Oh, that's a thing. What's that? Was that is that what happened to the firework? Is that what you were worried about? That light might burn things?
That is not any. That's not like any firework I have ever seen.
I like get my face real close to it. So then what do you think it is?
I have no idea. What do you think it is?
Oh, if you don't know, I don't know.
Yes, that's
for
definitely
sure.
true.
I'm new in town.
But so helpful.
I pick up a stick and I poke it. Incidentally, on my run here, my shirt has got caught on a branch, and so it's torn.
So wait, what are you poking with a stick here?
This floating ball.
Oh no, the floating ball took off.
It did. I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We were having a whole conversation about it, but it's gone now.
No.
So I can't.
You can totally have seen it when Atalanta was staring at it, and then it
Got
just
it.
shoots
All right,
away super fast.
Well, whatever. It's gone now. We should probably. You were worried about something, all right? You ran here.
Yes, we need to find the rocket that fell into the forest and make sure that it doesn't set anything on fire.
So you were here ahead of me. Did you see where it fell?
No, that's why I'm still looking.
That's fair. Good answer.
I just wonder if I should be asking you to roll with cold right now, Atalanta.
Up to you. Do you think I should?
Are you asking me, or were you asking Kat? Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't. It's so borderline, but it felt pretty shutty downy.
Okay, well that's a 5.
Seriously?
Wonderful.
I mean, these are my worst stats you're making me roll with. So, well, I'm volunteering, but
collect your
it's
XP.
a good way to get XP.
Yeah, collect your XP. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so no sooner do you say that than Johnny just reaches up into a tree and pulls down the rocket.
All right. It's like, there we go. That wasn't so hard. That was not so hard at all.
I mutter something. It's different with squirrels.
I look at you blankly.
Okay, I want to know. I want to know how Adam and Selina are getting on. I've been reading the very spicy chat.
Yeah, there's been some spicy chatting happening. Do you want to pick that up, Selina?
Sure. I'm sure. Well, yeah, you had offered walk her home, and I'm sure that's not necessary. But if you think Atalanta and Johnny have more experience with gunpowder than you, a former soldier, then I guess you're right. Nothing could possibly go wrong there for them.
I think you feel his hand sort of tighten on the small of your back.
I think she's sort of shutting you down.
Yeah, you go ahead and you roll that.
I'm not good at it, but I'll try.
I have 4 strings on you, so that might be good for you. Make me lose a string.
I got a 4 total, so.
You did not. What happens if it fails? They're shutting someone down.
I get to do
move,
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you get to do the hard move. Okay.
I get to do stuff. Hang on one second.
Fays aren't good at being mean.
Which is weird. You would think that you would be good at it, considering that you're all terrible.
So, no sooner does she say that when up the lane comes Archibald Lowell in his trap.
Oh God.
And he reins in his little trotter and looks down and says, "Why, if it isn't Miss Vale and Mr. Fairchild?"
Which one's Archibald?
Adam steps away from Selina and like back away from the trap and says, "Archibald," in like a way that kind of could put ice onto a pane of glass.
"Why, Miss Selina, you are out and about with neither a parasol nor a bonnet. The sun will just be ruinous to your complexion."
I know, I'm so forward.
Perhaps I can give you a ride back to home.
I think I'll be fine with Mr. Fairchild here. Offered similar, but I'm.
Well, if you want to walk and freckle up in this hot June sun.
Adam interrupts and says, "I think that Selina is perfectly capable of making a choice about how she would like to get herself home. And I'm also certain that her complexion is the least of her concerns."
Well,
do you want me to roll to shut him down?
oh, please go ahead.
I roll an 8.
You're going to take a condition.
That's fine.
But you get to choose a thing.
I will. He doesn't have a string on me. Does he have a string? He does, doesn't he?
It's 2 strings on you.
Ugh. All right. I'm going to take one forward.
Okay.
What's my condition?
I think he looks at the two of you and just makes it completely obvious that A, he knows what you're up to. B, he thinks that you're not a good person for it. And C, he's going to make sure that people know about this. So why don't we go with Cad?
You know, it's because I wrote Cad about him, isn't it?
Would you prefer Bounder?
I would prefer Rogue, thank you.
Yeah, you're not getting Rogue. Rogue is sexy. Cat is.
What about Rake? Rascal.
No, Cat.
Son of a bitch. Hate
Does Archie call Adam a cat out loud?
No. He
Please
does
say
it
yes.
all with his eyebrows.
his eyebrows. He's a
Selina's
man
gonna
with his hair.
Selina's like, as he does that look, I'm like, Selina's gonna roll her eyes and take a powder already, Archie.
Ah!
Which probably is nonsense talk to these people.
Yeah.
I think you can roll to shut him down, though.
Thank you.
You're
It's all
welcome.
about the attitude. Hey, I got an 11, so that's a 10.
That's fantastic.
Great job.
So you won't take a condition, and you get to choose a thing.
When you shut someone 10, choose one for blow. If they have no, do I want a string on Archie? I'll take one forward.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of a good condition to give him.
Fair enough. Well, he just shrugs and says, well, to each their own, I suppose. It's just try not to get any mud on your dress there, Selina. And with that, he cracks the reins and heads back down the lane.
I think as soon as he is out of earshot, Adam turns to Selina and says, I would really like to know exactly how you know that.
No what?
Former soldier, you said.
Oh, I thought that was knowledge. Was it in known that you served?
Well, he's too
This
young.
is Joe asking.
Oh yeah, no, nobody knows that I like lived and died.
Oh, sorry. Then
I mean, you could
well
know.
then, yeah,
You can
totally. Yeah, because you're already suspicious of me backstory wise, so
Yeah.
we'll say history class anyway.
I'm okay with you knowing. It's just
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, what I mean, look at the time. I think I should be heading home.
I think he reaches out. Do you try to walk away?
Yeah, she's gonna turn.
He definitely reaches out and grabs a hold of your arm.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if I need to roll anything for that.
No. Well, I don't think so.
No.
Mr. Fairchild, it's rather unbecoming of your family to restrain a woman in such a manner, is it not?
And I think that when I reached out to grab you, there was like a sort of vicious look on my face that is very uncharacteristic of a Fairchild.
Yeah.
And he sort of, when you say that, seems to remember himself and like lets go of your arm and says, I apologize.
Let it be. This will may or may not assuage any fears, but yours is not the only family that is aware of things.
He cocks an eyebrow at you and says, I do not know exactly what you mean. I only want to be sure that you will not be free with this information.
Well, I'm trying to think how to do it. Well, if you promise to ensure protect my standing, then I will be more than happy to keep this between us.
Yeah, I think he reaches out a hand to you and like takes your hand and bows over it and kisses it and says, it would be my sincere honor.
trying to turn her on.
That
I
sure
mean-
sounds like it. You sure sounds like it to me.
Fine with me.
Feels like it to me. There's like so many conflicting emotions.
Feels like a thing. Oh my god, I suck at turning people on.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I totally failed. I rolled a 3.
Oh, that's so poor.
Yeah.
That is
But you get an XP for making a promise.
It's true. And one for failing.
okay. Hey there,
Hey,
Adam.
what's up?
Was it was Selina who taught you what love is, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have some interesting news for you.
Oh god.
I think you should pick up a second hunger.
Oh fuck. Okay, what is it?
Affection, but only from Selina.
Oh my god. Ugh. Okay.
Just for a while. Okay. So Atalanta and Johnny. What do you do after you find the rocket?
I think we head back to the others.
Yeah.
Carrying the rocket. I mean, I think Johnny starts out carrying the rocket, but he's sort of swinging it as he walks, and I take it from him.
Yeah, I think as we're like coming down off the head, maybe like right after that moment too, like right there's all the holes and it's not the clearest ground. And I think there's a moment where I sort of like put one hand on your wrist and the other hand on your back, in a way that's like probably a little bit more intimate than is appropriate. And of course, my shirt is half off because of the rip. And I'm sort of trying to like guide you, like through this thicket, which frankly I'm not that good at doing. You're probably much sure-footed than I am, but I've sort of like this is what I've observed that young men are supposed to do for young women, in such places. And I'm also, would like to roll to turn you on.
I welcome young love in all its forms.
I don't know that Johnny is self-consciously trying to turn Atalanta on, but that's the right thing to click on here. Oh dear, that's a 4. That's the worst I could have rolled, and I'm
Okay.
extremely hot.
So you guys are coming down off the head, and you're about to reach over and do that thing, and you see Harold come riding up in his buggy. And he's like, "Oh, good, you found it." He looks and stares at the two of you, puzzled for a second. Like, Miss Winters, can I give you a ride back to Winterhaven?
I think
Winterfair, I mean.
Winterfair, yes, the family home. Yeah, I think I turn down my nose at Johnny and say, "It would be a pleasure, Mr. Blackwell."
Oh, of course. Johnny, good day to you.
See you later, Mr. Blackwell. Ms. Winters. Be careful with that rocket. I hear it's dangerous.
Oh, you're breaking my heart here, Johnny. Well, I feel like we need to zoom in on Johnny. What do you do after this?
I mean, I have a question for Adam. Like, do I know you have my pelt? Like,
You know,
how did you find my pelt? Let me ask the question that way.
I think that when you stayed overnight, oh no, I think I know how this happened. When I came back, I realized that not only like do I have this hunger for fear, but I can smell it. And I think that you like left the house in the morning and I could smell fear in the room that you had been staying in because you had like squirreled your pelt away. And I just found it and was like, well, this is interesting. And then like kept it.
Okay, and have you like revealed to me that you have it, or do I still think it's squirreled away in that room? I have not stayed over. I will say I have not stayed over in that room again since.
Yeah, I think you might still think that, and I actually think it could be cool if you wanted to play through you trying to get it, like going back to the room and being like, oh, my pelt's probably here, and then me being like, are you looking for something?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Totally
so yeah, so I head back to the Fairchild estate. Let's say, sorry, I want to get Benjamin's your uncle, right?
Yeah.
Like with sort of like a pretext of seeing if Benjamin has any work for me, but to really try and get myself into that room and make sure my pelt is okay. And maybe now that I have like a locale, like, you know, a nice little overhang by the dunes that I tend to sleep in, and I can sort of like squirrel the way closer to where I'm actually staying.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when you go to that room, you don't hear Adam come in, but as you start to like really frantically look for it because it's not where you left it, you hear his voice from the doorway. And when you turn around, he is like half wearing a shirt because he's in his own house.
Mm-hmm. And my shirt is still ripped.
Yeah. So we're just the shirtless twins up in here. So yeah, you turn around and there he is, and he says, "My dear boy, you seem to be overwrought."
Yes, remember a few months ago, your uncle let me stay here, and I think I left something, and I was coming. I mean, I'm doing a job out back, but I just came in to see if maybe it was still here, and it's not, and it's not important. It's not important. Don't worry about it. I should get back to work.
I think he moves a lot faster than you would expect and is directly in front of you as you start to try and like walk away, like disengage.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Well, what is it?"
It's just it's not important. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's just a thing.
Yeah, I think however we're positioned, he like puts his hand up against the wall in front of you and is like clearly blocking your way and says, I don't think you're being completely honest with me, and I'd like to help if I can.
Oh, well, in that case, it's a pelt. It's kind of like a sealskin rug. I don't have a lot from my family. I'm not from here, and I don't. And anyways, it's like the one thing I have left. It's like kind of like a blanket, kind of like a rug. I thought it was safer here, but now, I'd like it back.
I think I would like to gaze into the abyss. I want to find out what the real thing is, right? So I'm not sure. I could roll to turn you on.
You have strings on me.
I do have strings on you.
You can use a string to get the right.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll offer a string to like find out the truth.
I think I I'm trying to think of I think I just keep going, right? I say, yeah, so really, like when you don't reveal anymore. I just sort of like keep talking. Like, okay, so maybe it's a little bit more than a rug. It's like it's a part of me. It's really important, and when someone else has it, it can be used like as leverage against me or to get me to do things, and I need it back.
Well, what kind of things?
The things I'm good at. I do yard work.
He sort of interrupts you and says, "And what are you good at?"
Like I was saying, I do yard work. I'm pretty good with my hands. I know my way around the water.
So he leans up against the wall and says, "I was in here not long after you left, and I found it."
Oh, that's great. Can I have it back, please?
I don't think so. You see, I like the idea of someone having to do things for me.
Okay, so there are two things happening right now.
Yeah.
Number one, you can just now, like, there's been like a slight smell of fear coming off of me.
Yeah.
But like, I finally I've been basically taking you at face value, and I finally like that thing. Like, I finally realize what you're doing, what's happening, and like you can just like smell the fear heavy on me. Heavy on me. And what am I afraid you're gonna make me do? Or ask me to do. I guess you can't like you can't like make me do it, right? But it does. But I want it back. I think I think you're gonna try to just like use it to make me your slave.
Aww.
Basically. Like, here I am in this world, like exploring things for myself for the first time, and like I'm gonna be bound again. In like a way that I just find terrifying. It's a different kind of binding than, family and community, but still
not great.
Still not great. Maybe worse. So that's what I'm afraid of. And can I roll to keep my cool?
Yeah.
Where am I here? That is a 5, and I think my cold is 1. Still a 6. It's either a 1 or a -2. Either way, it's bad.
Oh, Johnny.
Oh, Johnny.
Oh, Johnny.
Those are two failed rolls, though. I should mark those.
Yes, you should.
I'll save it for the end of the scene. I had a question, but I'll wait.
Hang on a sec. Adam, take a string on Johnny.
Yep.
Because you've seen Johnny's deepest and worst fear.
Into it.
Then,
that is cool.
Then, could you roll to keep your cool, please?
Me?
Yeah, because you got somebody just almost shaking with fear standing right in front of you.
That makes sense. I rolled an 11.
Cool. You're a cold customer. Boy, that rejection, you just keep it in. Just bury it.
Doing it. Doing it.
Okay, this is going great for you. Everything is fine. So what are you going to ask Johnny to do for you?
I think he Well, I guess my question is, so I picked the origin scent, and I'm not entirely sure who I was sent by or what my goal of being back is. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that whatever it is that I want from Johnny has to do with that, right?
Well, Johnny has just admitted to being some sort of mystic creature, right?
Right.
Okay. So, yeah, Johnny, do your Atlantean Hyberian elders have any idea how to help Adam?
Um, I can, if she wants me to, I can if he wants me to, I can gaze into the abyss to find out.
Yeah.
How would
How does that conversation
Yeah,
go?
I think,
What do
I
you?
think the way it works is while you're standing there like shivering and shaking from fear, Adam like goes to the door, like lets you just kind of stand there, goes to the door, closes it, locks it, comes back, sits in a lounge chair, pours himself a drink, and just waits for you to gather yourself enough to hear him again.
I'm like in a panic, right? I failed my keep your cool roll. I am like,
yeah, you're having a rough time. And I think once you come back to yourself, it's like you realize that the room has changed, and that I am now sitting with like a cup of brandy, and I look at you and I say, so I am not entirely sure why I'm here. And since I hold your safety in the palm of my hand, I imagine that it's safe for me to tell you the truth. I've been dead
very
for
safe,
about,
very safe.
Right. I've been dead for about 11 years and 2 months. And I found myself back here, and I do not know why. I want you to find out why for me.
Well, we'll have to. Do you have some water? I don't know if I can find out, but I can. My family, my people have some tools, and this is the kind of thing that maybe I might be able to help you with. But will you give me back my pelt after that?
I may need your help with whatever it is I'm here for, but other than that, I have no interest in keeping you as some sort of slave.
Okay, then. Yes. I will help you with all of this if it will get me my pelt back by the end. And so do you have some water?
Of course. And he like
and some salt.
Okay. He gets up and rings a bell. A servant comes into the room. He asks for those things. The servant leaves and then comes back with them.
And I say, this seawater might be better, but I think this will just be fine. And it's like I think I asked for a tub, like not big enough to submerge myself in,
right?
But like, and I breathe in deep, and shove my face in the water, like just submerge my head into the tub, and gaze into the abyss.
Great.
Well, you get to take +1 on this because you're doing it.
Yep, and my dark is +1 already, so here's a roll I might pass, maybe. That is a 8.
So you get visions, right?
Yep, I get
confusing and
alarming visions about
cool.
about Adam's task and who sent him.
You see everything is white and so very bright. It's even worse for you than it would be for a normal human because your eyes are adapted for the dark of the seas, so you have trouble in really bright light. But you see Adam lying on some sort of table, and there's all these strange metal instruments and and gear that is putting out weird blue lights, and you don't understand any of it, but you can definitely see that there's been some extensive surgical procedures happening to Adam, and they're still going, but you can't really see who's doing it. But your guess is it looks like somebody reassembled Adam.
Okay. So I say I don't. Sometimes the visions are clearer than others, and this was not the clearest. Like, did I at least get a sense of, like, did the hands look human?
No.
Claws, number of fingers. What are we talking here? Or just
Well,
like
what you saw
just
was like some
noticeably-
kind of metal gauntlet that had tools coming out of it.
Got it. So yeah, so I described that to him. I said, I don't know who or what would do something like that or why, but something put you together for some reason. It's not an accident.
He like leans back in his chair and finishes the entire like glass of brandy in one sip, one big gulp, and says, "Well, that confirms that much. Keep digging."
You're the worst.
Oh,
You started
I
out
don't
as
even-
Peter Parker, and now you're J. Jonah Jameson.
yeah. I mean, I'll try, but you know, I'm not good at that. Well, sure, I'll try.
So, at Atalanta, Selina, I've been pondering this. Winter Fair is on hard times, right, Atalanta?
Yeah, I mean, we continued entertaining on a massive scale, long past the point where we should have retrenched, and now that we've been forced to retrench, it's like we've shut up a large part of the house. Although we still have the big dining hall open.
Any possibility that you would need to rent to a boarder and perhaps like in one of the cottages?
I think I think the family has too much pride to take in
Okay.
boarders.
I was just pondering if that was a place where Selina could be living.
At the
Well,
staying at
well,
the
no,
Freeland.
I mean, I think we could. I mean, I think we could invite a friend to stay with us. That would be a completely different thing.
Of course, especially if somehow you promise to do it and you're not quite sure how.
I mean, we're on the committee together. This will make things so much more convenient.
Oh my god. Yeah. So I mean, does that work for you guys? You wanna be housemates?
Well, I was thinking the Vreelands just so like
Okay, we can do that then.
before I met Atalanta, I had to live somewhere and get clothes that were appropriate. So, like
The Vreeland family.
it'd be funny to have like this family that I hated in the future under my throat.
I don't think they're rich yet. They're probably getting rich. So like they're an industrious middle class family where everybody works really hard and they complain about the stuck up townies and their haughty rich ways.
You're so much cooler now than you will be.
All right. So I guess I need to check in. Atalanta, what do you do after Harold drops you off at Winter Fair?
Well, I mean, I think I'm going to invite Selina over for tea because it occurs to me the Vreeland's house is really so small. We have so much extra space at Winter Fair.
That totally makes sense.
Totally.
Do you guys still have enough money to keep a carriage?
Yeah.
All right, so you can
Yeah.
you can send your man over to see if she wants to come over for tea.
Of course.
All right, yeah, we can cut the tea.
I just needed a place to sleep, and provide me with funding for clothes.
And just try and hide the fact that you only have
I'm
the one cook now, and
I'm their cousin from out of town,
way out of town.
from Philadelphia.
Yes, well, Philadelphia. I'll try not to hold that against you.
And she's like, I really have no problem if you insult Philadelphia. Atalanta, thank you for the invitation.
Yes, it's been such a pleasure working with you on the dinner committee, and I've been so glad to get the opportunity to know you. But
Yeah, it's great being in cahoots with you.
cahoots, that's such an interesting word.
It's a Philadelphia thing.
Is it? Yes. Well,
Sure. Got a whole page of 40 slang. So,
and I mean, you're staying with the Vreelands, aren't you? Are you entirely comfortable?
Yeah.
Are you entirely comfortable there?
Well, they've been very kind as to put me up because from out of town visiting my family. But,
oh yes.
I do hate being a burden upon them, but they're so very kind, hardworking.
Well, I mean, I was thinking we have so much extra space here, and I mean, the bedroom next to mine is completely empty. It would be no trouble at all, and it would be so much more convenient with the work on the dinner committee, having you close at hand.
Oh, are you sure about this? Yeah, you don't think no trouble? You promise no trouble will come of this?
Oh, absolutely, it will be fine.
All right.
Just
get that.
Yes,
XP.
just a second while I get XP. Yes, this is yeah. And I think I sort of reach out and I touch her arm, and of course, not all trouble is bad trouble.
You sounds to me like you're trying to turn her on.
Roll to turn on, roll to turn on.
Yeah. Oh dear, that was a 6. Even with a 5. Oh my.
Cool. So your father comes in as you're saying that. It's like, he looks down at you and looks over at Selina, frowns slightly. And
yeah.
Atalanta, I had no idea that we were having a guest today.
Oh, you've met Selina Vale, haven't you, Father? I am working with her on the dinner committee.
Well, yes, I am. I know that, my dove, but I thought our next committee meeting was not until Thursday.
Yes, but there's so much for us to discuss between meetings so that everything can proceed efficiently.
Well, shouldn't Caesar be here then?
Oh, things go much more efficiently with Caesar absent.
It's true. We've made such progress together.
Yes, we get along so well. I was just discussing with Selina. You know that her living accommodations are not quite comfortable.
Well, the Vreelands are fine and fine coming up family.
Yes, and there's no one in the bedroom next to mine since Eddie moved moved out some time ago. I thought it would be so convenient if Selina could stay with us for a few weeks.
Are you offering your father a string?
Sure.
Because you're gonna. Okay. Because he blinks, but he knows that you've caught him, because for him to refuse now would look ugly. He just says, "Well, I'm sure that Miss Vale wouldn't want to be a bother, but of course, I can't say that once such a charming invitation's been given. But let me ask you a question about your family. You said that Caesar Rollcliffe is in a rival werewolf family.
Yes.
So is your family, like, they all know they're werewolves, or?
Yeah. Yes, I think most of the werewolves in town know each other.
Okay. So are your parents werewolves?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So he just looks at you and says, "However, dear, you know that we have that family outing this month."
Oh, I'm sure Selina will
Oh,
understand our the importance of family obligations.
of course, Colonel. I promise I shan't get in the way. I have other duties that I could attend to, and I hate to bother your family get together.
Yes. Well, let me just go and speak with my daughter for a moment, and we'll just make sure all the arrangements are handled with Cook. So, as soon as you're outside the parlor, he just rounds on you. He's like, "Something's wrong with that girl. I can smell it. I'm sure you can too."
Yes, Father, but she's interesting, don't you think?
Interesting is not always good for us. We're not some wandering tribe of bloodsuckers. They like interesting.
Well, we're not fearful either. I'm sure that I can handle her.
We keep going this way, my dearest daughter, we're going to end up having to move to Dunwich.
Well,
They're interesting there too.
I'm sure it won't come to that, Father.
Let us hope not. It'd be a terrible shame if our family was thrown back into becoming people of the wood again. Very well, you may have your interesting little playmate.
Thank you, Father.
Now, in penance, I demand that you invite your dear cousin Henry over for tea some afternoon, soon, and perhaps Caesar Rollcliffe. We must maintain good relations with the Rollcliffes.
And I think Atalanta gives a little grimace at that, but she agrees.
Can't have them infringing on our hunting grounds, you know.
If he tries, Father, I'll bat back his ears.
All right. Well, go and go and talk to him. Go and talk to Francis the butler, and he'll set her up. And he just heads to his office and slams the door. Hey, I have a question about the Colonel. In wolf form, does he have his all four limbs? Or?
No, he doesn't. I mean, that's in large part why the family has gone into decline. He's not as dominant within the pack as he used to be. He doesn't have as much influence in town politics as he used to.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So as you come back into the parlor or whichever room we are in, Selina is totally gonna she's smiling brightly as she embraces you closely. As thanks again, Atalanta. It's I think staying with you is gonna be real killer diller. As she like whispers this in your ear real close, as I'm gonna give you a string to give myself a bonus to turn you on.
Okay.
Because I'm unashamed. And 6 and 1 is 7 plus 3 and 1 plus 4. So, all right, I get another string on you. And then you have to choose one of the things.
Yes, that's. Ooh. Let's see. What do I think you want? That's. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think I whisper in your ear that I'll come to your room tonight after my parents are in bed.
All right. So you promise that? Huh?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, look, and I get an advance.
That didn't take long.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the vampire's hypnotism move.
Oh no! Doesn't that work only on people you don't have strings on?
That don't have strings on you, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, I'll sort of skin it. I'll sort of interpret it as like an intimidation move.
Very nice. I mean, not nice. It's terrible and horrible, and you're all terrible people. I love it.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
I know what move I'm playing it yet.
I am so into the sappicness. So good.
And then there's
Okay. So just put a pin in the potential sex move because, but so we haven't seen of the combinations. We have not seen Adam and Atalanta yet. I don't think, and we haven't seen Johnny and Selina. I don't think. So, actually, maybe we'll just move to another day. So let's not stick a pin in that sex move. I need to know if a moment of intimacy was shared in that you consider strong enough to call that move.
Or does Atalanta break the promise?
No, I think I keep the promise. I mean, I think I keep the promise, but maybe it doesn't go quite as far as sex.
Well, if you lie naked with someone, actually, all it takes is for Selina to be naked. That's right.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
I take it
you're all right. I mean, I will leave it up to Selina to decide. I did not intend for it to go as far as sex this time, but I will leave it up to Selina to decide. Do I get drawn in?
Well, I mean, her move can trigger without yours triggering. It looks like.
I mean, she's already there naked, because again, she's from the future and used to less repression. I guess I don't know.
Not that far from the future, but yes.
40s, close to this. Is like 70 years.
People had a lot of sex in the 40s. It's true.
And
although if you've slept with a unicorn, I feel like your inhibitions.
Yeah, like I spent some time in the fairy realm, and I know how my powers work.
Just like
more so now.
Still not sure if they had sex in the fair realm. I'm pretty sure they didn't. I was a horse at the time.
Yeah, it was confusing. But that's your call. If you just want to lay with her, if you want to trigger your sex move,
Yeah, I mean, you can hold back.
she's totally trying to tempt you. So
okay. That's tell you what. If you spend a string to tempt me, I will have sex with you.
no, that feels weird. So
well, all right. We'll just end up having sex, and I establish a deep spiritual connection with you. So
I mean, we don't. It doesn't have to be sex. If you want the move, we can just say that.
right.
That,
Right. I mean, not necessarily sex, but sexy enough.
Yeah. Let's not do any. Remember, we have a line on this. So
Yeah.
So this is
yeah,
that's fine. I mean, just seeing her naked might be enough for you to establish a deep spiritual connection.
Yeah.
Now I got to ask you another promise. Promise? Okay. I gotta look at my stream. What am I doing? No, I got nothing with Johnny. Gotta look at the committee. Who do I not dislike? Theodora. Oh, promise me that you're gonna help me deal with Theodora. I'd really love to get her off the committee entirely.
Well, all right. I'll speak to. I promise. I'll speak to my mother and see what can be done.
All right. Take that as a yes.
Okay. So, it's a new day. It's a new world. All these fun things. So, Adam, what are you up to?
What is Adam up to? I think Adam is having a moment of. I think after Johnny leaves, Adam winds up sort of falling into a deep despair over his behavior because it's not actually something that he really liked doing, but he was compelled. And so then I think the next thing that you see is sort of a kind of desolate Adam wandering mostly shirtless around his property. Just sort of having a really rough evening.
I think your Uncle Ben sees you. He says, son, why are you wandering around without a shirt on? I mean, you have a great wardrobe. You're responsible, for goodness sake.
He comes back to his uncle and says, I'm worried that I came back wrong.
But, well, I mean, the wonder's that you came back at all, isn't it?
But is it a wonder if I came back less than I was before?
Well, Adam, it seems to me that there's many a man that came back less than he was before from that war. Whether it was they left some part of them, part of their body, or some part of their soul. That was a crucible.
He looks at his uncle and says, but I came back hungry. And then he like in the film version of this, he's sort of like standing on the wet grass off the back porch of their great house, and he's, you know, sort of like wet and disheveled, and when he looks up and says, I came back hungry, there's a glint in his eyes that it's hard to tell if it's from the lights inside the house or from something really unholy inside him.
For something unseemly? Are you addicted to the morphine there, son?
Is his uncle afraid right now?
Yes, but unfortunately, it's not the I am afraid of you. It's I am afraid that the person I love is in pain.
Yeah.
But it's still fear, though.
It's still fear, and he takes one step up towards his uncle, like up the stairs to the porch, and says, I have not eaten since the day that I woke up, but I can smell the fear that hangs around you now. And it is all I crave.
I don't know why you would want to say such a thing to me, Adam.
Because you are my family. And because I reek of the same thing that you do.
That feels to me like something you should be fighting against. Maybe there's some way to cure you.
Adam takes another step towards his uncle and says, I fear the only cure is death. And I fear I cannot die.
Well, it's not our way, Adam. It's not the Fairchild way for us to meddle in this sort of force. That said, it's known that there are those in this town who have more answers. I know you think that the Greenwoods are silly, but if you are searching for answers, I fear it's them or you go down to our friend, the Reverend Wilkins.
Adam steps up onto the porch, and as he walks past his uncle, just sort of like puts his hand on his shoulder and says, I should not have troubled you. I fight this demon alone. And then walks inside.
Okay.
Who knew I was going the broody route? But, you know.
Well, I mean, it is the romantic period, so.
It is the romantic period.
Oh, wow. Yes, I want late night swim scene between Selina and Johnny. Yes, please. Yes. Yes.
Stuff is about to get real unseemly, and I'm just.
Yeah. I think it starts that, like, I get back to the beach after leaving Adams, like, completely. It's always the next morning. So, like, I fall asleep on the beach and I don't sleep. And I wake up and I just need to, like, clear my head. So I strip down and dive in and just, like, start swimming laps along the shore. And how do you introduce yourself, Selina?
I think it was like I don't know time wise, but like I want like it still be like dark night, like post.
Oh, okay. So we could this is like right before dawn, maybe, or the middle of the night.
Yeah, totally. Like well after Atalanta and Selina had their deep emotional connection, And Selina's like, Faye, so she's drawn out like to the woods at night and to the water, or like, and she's just like dives in like the nightgown, dressing gown, like yeah. No. She'd strip it off because it'd be a pain in the ass to walk back with it. No, she's gonna leave it on because it's way more Austin-y. Whereas she like dives into the water and swims along in that.
Yeah, and I think I like maybe I see you and I swim towards you. And I'm like a little confused, but also I say, and I like I sort of like start. Are you like swimming laps back and forth? Or are you just sort of like heading into the water? Just like walking
Yeah,
into
she's
the
just
water.
heading into like she's just walking slowly into the water. Like just like
So
with the arms out, like fingers like tracing through the water before like
yeah.
submerging.
So yeah, I think I like swim pretty quickly towards you, and I'm like, Selina.
Oh, Johnny. What are you doing here?
This is where I kind of sleep most nights, and the water seemed nice, and I couldn't sleep, so I went for a swim. But like I get people enough to know that they don't just like walk into the water in their clothes, although I don't fully get clothes. So as I start sort of like trying to lead Selina out of the water, I'm like not at all conscious of the fact that I'm completely naked. So I'm just sort of like leading her sort of back towards the beach. Like what's going on?
Oh, and she's not following you. She's like basically doing like the teasing swimming around you thing.
I mean, I'm confused. I sort of like what are you doing, Selena? I don't understand.
Oh, it's late. There's no one else around. We're just having fun. Don't you want to have some fun, Johnny?
This is.
And she's gonna spend a string. Wait, do I have a string on you?
Yeah, at least one, maybe two.
No. I don't spend a string. I give you a string to add 3 to my try to turn you on.
Oh, okay. I will take that string.
Yeah. I've got plans.
Sure.
Oof. I got a 6 total, so didn't help.
You got a 6, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Had a +4 to that roll and rolled snake eyes.
Cool. So, wow.
It's rough.
So while you're doing your little dog paddle and you see Johnny look up and doesn't look down, he's not looking at you at all. So when you look up, hovering right above you is one of those blue globes again.
I remember these from the future, right?
Maybe. They don't have to be the same ones.
Hey, that's not how human minds work. But
right,
yeah,
like is it moving or is it still?
It's just hovering right above you guys.
So I think I'm like floating on my back and staring up at it, and I say, I see these up on the head sometimes at night. I don't think I've ever seen one down here though.
And like, I guess I move. Is it like just constantly hovering above me?
No, it's just hovering over the two of you.
So let's worry. Well, yeah, I've seen them on the head too.
It's hanging in the air, as Douglas Adams said, like bricks don't.
Like how far above us?
Probably like 30 or 40 feet.
Okay,
it's hard.
So
it's hard to tell because you can't. It's hard to look at. Like your eyes get weird when you look at it, so it's hard to judge the distance. I mean, it could be really big and far away.
So yeah, I'm gonna stare into it, like just like lose myself into it. I'm trying to gaze into the abyss. I'm like, what is this? I've seen it like so many times.
So, what does gazing into the abyss look like for you?
So basically, I like lose myself on like it's sort of like you staring off into the distance, but like looking at something. But then like when I'm in the abyss, it's like I'm inside like a fairy ring.
Okay. Let's see that roll. I mean, are you one of the dark fae?
Hell no.
Oh, good.
I'm
then.
volatile, and I don't think I've ever rolled it once.
That's better.
3 and a 6. So
Oh, a 7. So that's a 8, right?
it's not just good; it's good enough.
That's disturbing. Okay. So you're in that fairy ring, and you're looking around trying to think, and you realize you are not alone in the fairy ring. In fact, what are you wearing when you're in the fairy ring?
Oh, I think it's like exactly what she's swimming in. It's just like well, yeah, like it's basically like the sheer white gown. It's only sheer now because she's swimming in it, but it's like
Okay.
very much what like Mia Sarah wore like in Legend.
So standing in front of you is that elegantly, impossibly beautiful, carved out of ice beauty, wearing a dress that you just saw this morning in Harper's. It was told is just the height of fashion in New York City right now. She just looks at you. Well, Selina, you're back to have answers, aren't you? What can I do for you, my dear subject?
All right. The lights in Kingsport, what are they?
Oh, well, you don't have to worry your pretty little head. They're not ours. They're something else. They're something from outside or up there. I can't keep these things straight. I don't think you'd like what's causing them. They're very uncouth. They're in trade.
But
They're very mercantile.
what do they do? Like, why are they here?
Oh. Well, usually they're here to extract something. So, is there anything valuable in Kingsport? I mean, besides your pretty little self. How are you enjoying the 19th century? I always liked it, but, my husband doesn't. He prefers 1966 for some reason.
It's just, I mean, if you're cool with this, I want to ask, where's Astrid? And then like the vision to end.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Joe, my heart can't take it.
All right, so then you're back bobbing on the water, and meanwhile,
Looking around.
the globe is taken off again, and Johnny, you watched it just sail up into the sky faster than anything.
Yeah, I found it like oddly after watching it, like my tension is kind of released. I feel a little bit more at peace. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about these things that make me feel comfortable.
Oh, they're not from around here.
Neither am I.
Neither am
Are
I.
you? Where are you?
So,
Yeah, where are you living with your cousins?
now I'm staying with the Winters.
Atalanta wasn't very nice to me this afternoon.
I'm sorry. Did you do anything to upset her?
I went to help her pick over some walk over some rough ground and to help her get that rocket, remember? And then she just did not seem to want me there at all. I thought I was supposed to be there.
Well, I mean, maybe she thought she could handle it on her own, which couldn't she?
I think so. but you know, I was told a young lady should not be unaccompanied.
Well, Johnny, perhaps I can help you out, but you have to promise me that you'll just won't get in Atalanta's way again, and
I mean,
I'll teach you exactly what to do.
if you can teach me how to stay out of her way appropriately, I promise to do it.
Totally,
Remind me
of course.
how that move.
All right, if you agree to a promise, you get an XP. If you break the promise, I get an XP, and then other stuff.
Got it. I definitely agree. The other stuff is like strings, or you don't.
Yeah, I can like I
do
take a
stuff to
string
me.
on you
That's
when
great.
you break the promise. Then when I spend the string to even the score to get justice, I get to add options.
Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely make that promise.
Yeah.
You're being real. Yeah. Question. This is a just jumping in. So I have this move, Catch of the Day. When you don't understand what's going on or what someone means, and it gets you into trouble, it leads you to make unwise choices, mark experience.
Yep.
So I definitely don't get it. I definitely don't know that I get. I don't think I get double experience for that particular unwise decision. I would take it if you let me.
You could.
But then the second
two separate moves,
right? And that, but following. I meant to ask this earlier. I forgot. Following Atalanta to the head. I feel like that.
Yeah, I agree. I had been thinking about that too. So.
And I'll take the extra one for this if you'll let me have it. But I don't know how that works exactly. It feels a little like cheesy.
Nah, yeah, just take the one extra. That should be fine.
Fantastic, and I level up. Oh, I do not have a plan, so I'll have to figure out what I'm taking. But anyways, I think I swim as I'm thanking her. I swim closer to her. And like our bodies make incidental contact. It's really, you're being awful nice to me, Selina. I really do appreciate it.
Oh well, I mean, why wouldn't I be nice to you? I've never been mean to you in the past.
I'm always. People are nice to me. People are mean to me. I thought Adam was my friend. He was. He was awful cruel. He was awful cruel to me earlier.
It's getting wrapped up in my ankles.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of us should roll turn the other one on. I don't know who.
Yeah, I think it's you.
Yeah, I already tried it earlier. I just want to, if you help me get it off, then my absolutely figures no matter what. So.
Yep. I will roll that.
I gotta think of another problem. Damn it.
Mm-hmm. Where's the dice roller here? Which is the appropriate tab? That is a 7, 8, 9.
So it's your choice, Selina.
All right, it's 7,
give
8,
a string 9. Or give a reaction.
Give you a string or choose one of the reactions. Yeah, no, I'll totally kiss you.
Is this which are you doing here? Are you giving yourself to me, or are you giving you something you think I want?
They might be one and the same. I don't know. I'm kissing you. Rather intimately. I consider giving it myself to you. If things go further, that's on.
Got it. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think maybe. I think I kiss you back, and I think I whisper in your ear. You said something about having a little fun. Can you show me how you have fun? And I'm willing to like just go to black there and initiate sex.
Yeah,
moves if you're
it's totally
with
go to
that.
black.
I'm dead.
I have to think of another promise to ask you for, though.
What's my sex move?
And what's your
No.
sex move?
It is when you have sex with someone, it counts as submerging yourself in water, which I already am. Since all oceans tell you their secrets, gain a string on someone else they've had sex with, which is Atalanta.
Yep.
If I had a different move, I could also
all right,
heal
here you go.
myself of harm that I haven't taken. So,
That sex move is so good.
it's pretty awesome.
Promise you'll never lie to me. If you refuse, I get 2 strings on you. That's what happens. So.
Yeah. I know. I'm trying to decide how I like.
I mean, you can only break
how
the
I
promise
respond.
once, so
Right. Sure. Why would I ever have reason to lie to you?
wait, people can lie?
I mean, I lied to Adam earlier. It's the thing I know how to
Get it
do.
up.
I'm just not good at it.
Get that XP again.
Yeah. You're like an XP machine, Selina.
Yeah. I just need people to break the promises so I can get the XP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course, I know that you
Yeah.
had sex with someone else, and the next time I see you, I'm going to smell who it was.
Yeah.
Question Atalanta. What secret did I learn? You don't have to answer right now, but
I think no. I mean, I think the fact that I had sex with Selina is a secret.
right. Well, that makes sense, actually.
Right.
I may not even have to smell it on Selina. It's like the next time I see Johnny, he may just pop out with it. Oh yeah, you had sex with her too.
Oh my god, that'd be perfect.
Great.
Okay. Well, on that note,
Go team.
holy cow. Well, we're back to Kingsport form, I think.
We really are.
This is like I think this is the most sex we've had since 1692.
Yeah, 1692 was our sexiest year.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those international coffee ads.
I missed us. I'm glad we're back. Oh, Kingsport, my Kingsport.
Okay, so that feels like a good point to stop.
Sure, no pain.
I'll drop a thing in the other thing, and we can go do that.
I'm gonna skip debrief, but you're all wonderful.
You're wonderful too.
I am deeply troubled, is what I am.
And we'll pick this up next week, and I will try and keep up with all of you. Thank you, everyone. That was really lovely.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye, Joe. You beast.